What's going on, guys? Commander here, and welcome to a Halo 5 Guardians online Let's Play. Now this is something a little bit different, and the reason for that is because I'm doing a comparison video today. Now the thing I'm going to be comparing is Halo 5 Guardians Warzone Firefight and Halo Reach's Firefight. Now the reason why I wanted to do this comparison is for the sole purpose being that when I bought Halo Reach and I played the Firefight, I was absolutely astounded with its Firefight. And so much so that when Halo 5 Guardians said, "Oh, we're bringing out Warzone Firefight," which is basically Firefight for Halo 5, I was really excited for it. Even so, when it came out, and I thought this is absolutely brilliant, and I love it. It is slightly hard, that's because it's on Legendary, but overall, I was just after a while of playing it, I was thinking, is this really as good as they made out, and as I originally thought it would be, and is this really as good as the absolutely astounding Halo Reach Warzone Firefight? So this is sort of what I've got together. Now, as we are playing, you've seen a bit of Halo 5 Guardians Warzone Firefight gameplay. You're currently going to see a big chunk of about 5 minutes Halo Reach gameplay that I've recorded, and some more Halo 5 Guardians Warzone Firefight gameplay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the pros and cons for each one, and then I'm going to basically sum up at the end what I think of each one. Now, let's start with the pros for Halo Reach, since we're watching Halo Reach at the moment. What I've always loved about Halo Reach, whether it be the campaign or Firefight or what, it's the different classes of elites that you can get are absolutely brought and I think that's sort of what they sort of mucked up with at the end when they brought out Halo 4 and 5, is that they had to change the design because it was a new company and whatnot, but I think they could have kept the same classes of elites, because in Halo Reach they've got like patrols, they've got airborne, they've got generals, they've got regular infantry, they've got commanders, and whatever else, but in Halo 5, and Halo 4, yes, they have quite a few, but they don't have as many as this. And that's sort of what I love about Halo Reach. But things I like about the Firefight is that it's really, like, customizable, the Firefight. Like, as we're playing this, I've currently got a customized Firefight setting on, which basically I've set it so it skips out all of the monarchy with the grunts that you have right at the start of the default Halo Reach Firefight thing. You basically have to deal with, like, for the first few rounds you got to deal with a load of like grunts and jackals, which is really annoying. So I basically cut out all of that and went straight to the big elite battles and brute battles and using brute chieftains and whatnot. And that, I think, is really good with Halo Reach, is that it's very customizable. And also, they've got a wide variety of weapons at your disposal. They also have the special weapon drops, which you get at the start of every single firefight, whatever map you're playing on. What they are depends on the map you're playing on, I think. Bearing in mind, I absolutely love this map, Beachhead, which I'm playing on. So just I don't know everything about all the maps. I played on Corvette a bit, but I didn't really like that map. But you know, each to their own. But yeah, it's very like it's very complex how they've engineered it, and I think, if I'm right in saying that, you can customize your loadouts, which is, I think, what I did with this one. Which, I mean, I know certain things with like Halo 5 is a bit tricky to do because of the rec system that is involved with Warzone, but I still think that there could be an element of customization in there. I mean, like, if they brought Firefight into Halo 4, you can customize your loadouts with in Halo 4, and they could have brought that in for Halo 5, and have you like set out using like a BR, have your loadouts like BR and assault rifle or whatnot, like you could do with Halo 4. So I think there's some elements in there that they could do, but they just couldn't be asked to do, if that makes any sense. So now that I've gone through a few of the pros, let's go over to a few of the cons. Now, some things that I don't necessarily like very much about Halo Reach's Firefight, not necessarily like big things. I mean, there's about 2 big things, and then I'm just nitpicking a few bits and bobs. One of the big things is the amount of maps that they have. Now, I know that Halo Reach, after the developer transfer, sort of went a bit sideways, and they didn't have and they couldn't make any more maps for Halo Reach's Firefight, which I can understand, but it would be nice that if they, before they axed any more releases of Halo Reach's Firefight, they put in some more things for it, and put in like at least a DLC which had about 5 more maps that you could play, whether it be free or paid for, whatever. But I would like to see a bit more of a DLC there ready. But yeah, the other thing that I think is a big problem is that the size of the maps. If you look at some of the size of the maps in Halo 5, the maps are absolutely massive, and I think that that works really well because it's very expandable. And because why I think it's a bit of a nuisance with Halo Reach is because the maps are so small. Because the maps are so small, and there's so many enemies that come in at once, you get yourself a bit crowded. Like, as you can see here, I'm absolutely surrounded by enemies, which is why I like to camp. Now, that's sort of another nitpick with the maps, is that a lot of the maps, like Beachhead, I love playing, because up where I normally hang out, you've seen just a second ago, I like to camp there an awful lot. And that's sort of the thing that I don't like about the maps, is that there's a lot of camping positions. I mean, I know like survival is based around camping, but it's not really very good for the maps, if that makes any sense. So that's sort of the pros and cons for Halo Reach. So now we're on to Halo 5. I'm going to give you the pros and cons for Halo 5. Now, Halo 5 pros, first of all, the maps are so much bigger. If you look as I'm wandering around here, I haven't got a clue why I'm doing it, just to say, before anybody pikes me out. But, as you can see, when you're running around, the maps are absolutely massive. They are very expandable. You can be at one side of the map, and there's some enemies. You can be at the other side of the map, and there are even more enemies. Another good thing about it is, this is a very controversial one, but I think the bosses are sort of a good thing, yet a bad thing. Now, I like the idea of having bosses, but I don't like the idea of having like legendary bosses. Because, like, yes, bosses are good for, like, objectives and whatnot, but I don't like the fact that you have bosses with, like, 1,000,000 health points. I don't think that's very, very good, but, you know, that's sort of a controversial one. I'm not going to spend too much time on that, because that is quite controversial. I personally don't like it, but, you know, each their own. But, yeah, something else I do like is and this sort of like goes with the rec system more than it does with the firefight itself. But I like the different types of weapons and vehicles that can be used to your advantage. Like, you've got the rocket launchers, you've got the tanks I'm using currently. This is the core tanks. You've got the sniper rifles that can be used, and all to your advantage. And I think that sort of comes to the rec system a little bit more, which this video is not based on, but it's sort of that sort of focused based. But I still think that the way that they can be engineered into Firefight is very, very intelligent, and the way that they've done it is very, very good. Something else I do like is that with Warzone Firefight is, because the maps are so big, the ways you can attack from I think because you can attack from multiple levels, you can sort of get your enemies by surprise. So you can if you've got, let's say, a crowd of Covenant, so let's say you've got about 7 grunts and led by an elite, you can jump up, you can chuck your grenade down, kill the grunts and the elite shield, come down with a pistol or a BR, headshot him, and then you've done it. So you can use height to your advantage a little bit. With Halo Reach, it's a bit like you can't do that. It's very like hard to do so and use height to your advantage because there ain't a lot of high points, and also because you don't jump very high, it's hard to do that anyway. So that's the good points about Halo 5 Guardians. There are more. If you want to see me like put a list in the description, then I'll put the default description up, and then you can, if you tell me you want a full list of what I think, then tell me in the comment section below and I'll do that myself. Some of the bad bits, I think this is sort of like my bad points on the objective side, is the fact that you can the objectives are there and they're quite hard objectives to do so, and that sort of links with another bad point, that I think that the time limits that you have to do certain objectives, like you have for each round you've got 4 minutes to do each one, and yeah, you got 4 minutes to do each objective, or 4 or 5 minutes, I can't remember which. I think it's about 5 minutes. But if you've got, like, let's say like kill 100 grunts or kill 75 jackals, that's not hard at all. Anybody can do that. I can do that I can do that with my eyes closed. It's not hard. All you need is to get a rocket launcher or a ghost and just ram them with your ghost, or get a rocket launcher and just blow their asses up. I mean, it's not hard. With something like that, it's not hard at all. But when you get like a Warden Eternal, which has like excuse me, which has like 5 billion health points, that's when it decides it's going to get a little bit harder. That's when it gets a bit harder, and that I think is not like, I think like respawn timer increases, and then I think the time needed to do each round increases as well. Like here we've got a mythic boss target, and we've literally got 4 minutes to do that in. We've just had to kill 4 legendary bosses, and now we've got a mythic boss to deal with. And that mythic boss, 2 mythic bosses even. Now those mythic bosses have outstanding health points. Now, and I don't really think 4 minutes is enough to kill 2 mythic bosses in. I mean, I think it sort of been makes up with the Rex and how powerful some of the Rex are. But if you're with a team that hasn't got very powerful Rex, and all they do and they just don't want to use it, you're pretty much saying that you're going to lose that round. So that's sort of something I don't really like either. And it's sort of a bit like something else I don't like about Warzone Firefight in itself is the fact that what was I going to say? I can't remember. Yeah, something else I didn't like about Halo 5's Warzone Firefight, I noticed this in the beta when it came out, is that as rounds increase, so does the respawn timer. Now, I'm not sure why that was necessary to put in, or what was going through 343's mind when they decided they were going to put that in. I mean, if you look on forums, it says it's because it sort of encourages you not to die more and be more tactical. But I don't think it does at all. I think, like, it just frustrates, I mean, it personally frustrates me. I don't know what was going through their mind when they decided they were going to put that in, and whether they thought that was a good idea. I just thought I thought that was a terrible idea to put in. And I don't know why they thought that would work. I mean, I personally think that's all the worst addition they could possibly add to the game, in all fairness. I mean, that was really, really stupid to do. But, yeah, overall, after, like, talking about both of them, I personally think that Halo Reach is better, just because, like, Halo Reach is more customizable. than Halo 5. If Halo 5 had an offline firefight mode, I think that would make it a lot better. But I personally think that Warzone Firefight or Firefight in Reach is a whole lot better. It's a lot more customizable. It's a lot more like broader. You can do a lot more with it. I haven't played it in multiplayer before, so I don't know how it works in multiplayer, but I expect it generally works the same. That's why I didn't really moan about the difficulty being too hard with Halo 5, because I expect it's the same with Halo Reach online. But I was talking about the actual gameplay itself, but that's what I sort of feel that it's sort of the goods and bad parts about each one. And I personally think that Halo Reach is a lot better than Firefight. But if you disagree with me or you agree with me and there's some points that I missed, do leave it in the comment section below, because I would like to know which one you guys prefer. Whether you prefer Halo 5's Firefight or whether you prefer Halo Reach's Firefight. And please explain to me why, because I would love to hear your opinions on the matter, because I know it's a very topical thing, not necessarily which is better, Reach or Halo 5. But Halo 5 has got a lot of criticism, and I think one of the main things is Firefight, because it was a massive hype, and I think it got slightly disappointed a little bit because it was slightly a bit naff, more than it's a lot different than people originally thought it would be. But yeah, anyway, that is about all we have time for in this video here. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for awesome gaming content, and I shall see you all later. Bye!